Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the month of March. This is my birthday month, by the way. My birthday is on 2nd March, so that will be tomorrow, yes? And I want to start by first saying thank you for April, for February. Apart from our political analysis, we normally do part of our CSR, and we did a successful project. A total of, how many? 13 plus 2. We managed to release a total of 15 women that were stranded in Mama Lucy Hospital at a cumulative bill of around 250,000. I'm so happy. So, as we agreed, we are not going to do any CSR in March. We'll do our next project in April. So, in this March, expect uninterrupted political analysis. And thank you very much for being part of this. William Samoei Arap Ruto seems to have thrown Rigathi into deep dilemma. And bit by bit, the reports are emerging of behind the scene intrigues of what exactly happened in better part of this week. The Kenya Kwanza cabinet meets every Tuesday, and another subsidiary meeting with the departmental heads of different ministries, chaired by a caucus of Gen cabinet, is normally chaired by Rigathi Gachagua every Thursday. And for the first time since the cabinet was formed, William Ruto's cabinet failed to sit, and the cabinet sitting did not happen this week. And if you look at the itinerary, the diary of the president and his deputy, you cannot pinpoint why it has not, because even the days when the president is normally away, that meeting do happen. But the same week is also the week we witnessed a shocking development when William Ruto and Raila Odinga met in Uganda. So I have compounded to you here, I've compiled to you a good report on what exactly is happening behind the scene and why the DP is quite unsettled man. But before that, I need to remind you about Installite. If you are in this country, you know very well that we've had a challenge, and now it is the challenge of unending blackouts. Now, the best you can do is you source for an alternative source of power, and the best is solar power. That is why I'm introducing to you Installite. Installite is the best company in sourcing for solar power. And even ourselves, we used Installite. Contact them if you're putting up your house back home. Instead of kungangana na Kenya Power all through, you can consider using Installite, and you will ensure that that person you love, that your mother or your sibling or your children, they will get uninterrupted power flow. If they work online, uninterrupted. And so sometimes even in your business you need solar, because someone was even telling me that aliwahi ibiwa wakati stima imepotea, the CCTV are not working. So that's how it was robbed. So if you can consider Installite, contact Mr. Gidiomi here. The number is 0722 818 883. 0722 818 883, and say goodbye to power outages, because Installite will help you enjoy 10 hours or more of uninterrupted power with a power inverter. Now, on Monday, when William Ruto flew to Uganda, he flew with a delegation from the Ministry of Energy led by the C.S. Davis Churchill. And of course, the photo that was shared is the photo of Ruto and Rigathi, Ruto and Raila. And I've always said that was intentional. You know, it was intentional just to make sure that the public perception, the public discourse is narrowed on that. And the truth of the matter here is that he actually flew with the delegation from the Ministry of Energy on that oil deal negotiation. And the Deputy President Axis knew very well that the President's diary in Uganda, mission in Uganda, was on that. P.S. Alex Washira Kamau Washira is, I told you every ministry has a Zabra ticket of a Kikuyu Kalenjin. So in the Ministry of Energy, that PS is actually touted as William Ruto's point man. And not every other person is actually in the know. A very interesting take is that despite the fact that Penina Malonza is the minister in charge of the East African community, she was not in the know. She was kept in the dark. And of course, because probably she's deemed as William Ruto's point person. Not William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagwa's point person. She was actually brought in, she was a referral from Rigathi Gachagua. And that is what exactly, that is what happened on Monday. And it has now emerged that when William Ruto left here, of course she was not in the same plane with the rest, the government ranks understood that William Ruto was going there on that oil project, but not on the other side of what happened. And so, even to some of these leaders like Rigathi Gachagua, they realized, the way we realized the photos were shared, that's how they also received that. And that's why quite a number of them are still remain tight-lipped. Now on Tuesday, two things happened. And before that, Rigathi was dispatched in Mombasa on Tuesday. And then, remember, the meeting happened on Monday. Rigathi was dispatched in Mombasa on Tuesday for attending the drug abuse conference, and no meeting happened the next day on Tuesday. And now it is emerging that the Uganda meeting was kept a secret. So this explanation from Raila Odinga that they had not planned to go with William Ruto in Uganda is a message targeting the Rigathi axis. Someone was telling me that the reason why Raila is saying that, the public are understanding that probably he is telling Kenyans so that he absolves himself of any handshake debate. But in real sense, that message is supposed just to appease the Rigathi axis, because there were a bit of sense of discomfort on the fact that they were not kept on the know. And so after that, two things happened. On the very Tuesday, Rigathi camp the two things happened that rattled Rigathi's camp, and these two developments still remain as a very big misery for them. Number one, Cabinet Secretary Aisha Jumwa became the first cabinet member, and for the first time, to meet the opposition leader Raila Odinga in his Capitol Hill office. And of course, you can see this photo that was shared. It was, that meeting was a multi-sectoral working group on 2/3 gender rule. And you might want to ask why Raila. Raila is the party leader of the largest political party in this country, ODM party. That you can't really underestimate. So Aisha Jumwa packaged that meeting, or it was packaged. The meeting with Raila Odinga, it was packaged as that. But as you can see, apart from the other meeting, that multi-sectoral meeting, there was a specific photo that was taken by Aisha Jumwa meeting Raila Odinga. And this is synonymous to what happened when there was a handshake between Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. You could see a host of cabinet members from Uhuru Kenyatta cabinet trooping to Capitol Hill and briefing Raila Odinga. I know a member of this channel who once confided to me that Baba used to call the shots in Uhuru's government, and sometimes if you needed some support, you could go to Capitol Hill, you talk to Baba, and Baba calls that minister, and that minister will actually help you. So that was one that raised eyebrows, because Rigathi didn't expect this. He's always not really in it. Now, number two, apart from Aisha Juma, there was also another PS in the Ministry of Roads that met Raila the same day. But apart from that, on the very Tuesday, the Star newspaper, which I personally believe is a propaganda tool used by government, every Tuesday, they normally give the free copies of the magazine. They splashed a headline a day after Raila met, the very day when Raila was meeting. Raila met Ruto on Monday. Now, newspaper headline on Tuesday night was about Raila's people getting some job in government, and that is the news you're seeing here. So, anyone who works within government ranks understand that that headline was splashed intentionally, and you could see, I think I saw Dennis Etumbi debunking it and saying that that headline is actually hogwash. So it happened that now a narrative was being crafted by those two political developments that, you know what, there could be some political truce between Ruto and Raila. And then that these two really pushed Rigathi in a very awkward position because, truth be said, the deputy president believes that because Raila was not elected in any office, Raila is the most inconsequential person in this country. It has been sowing the sheer seeds of discord. His speeches about who Raila is have been really annoying, even to his own supporters. People look back and say, oh no, you are the deputy president. There's some things that are actually unnecessary for you to say. So he's been a bit lethal on Raila on this end, and just listen to some of this.
Former Prime Minister, my brother, hatukatai salamu, hatukatai maongeo. Najua kikwetu, maybe huyu governor atakwambia. Aluga modu wanarumone nyamu jirole. Ona kanyoko angekate. What do we say? Somebody who has been bitten by a black snake. Even when you see a black pot, you run away. And it's good I tell you today, because you are here and you have raised the matter. We fear you. The reason, ulikuja unakapata na mtoto wetu Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa mtu mzuri. Alitupenda. Alitufanyia kazi. Mliposhikana na yeye akageuka. Akija kwako alikuwa anacheka. Akija hapa ako na makasiriko. Tukakuwa na wasiwasi. That is the reason. And I must tell you, that is why tukisikia mambo ya salamu tunakuwa na uoga. Because you mess us up the way you messed Uhuru Kenyatta. We cannot agree. Niye jana yohoro ama na niye gaugatiriaga kwa mundu. Jana yohoro wa morio hia. Na ugande mwire tondu niwe waria ndeto icio konda anaria ndingia mwira. Arauga ni turetigira miario. Ti miario turetigira niwe turetigira. Ni uria atwikirira Uhuru wa Kenyatta. No, and we are still crying for our child, Uhuru Kenyatta. We pray for him so that God can heal his heart, because we don't know what happened after the handshake. He was a great man. He was a great leader. He was compassionate. After that handshake, he became brutal. He became dictatorial. He became intolerant. We don't know what happened. Sasa hao watu walituumiza, wakaumiza rais wetu. Ati sasa wanataka kuja kuketi kwa meza. Is he genuine? Is he genuine? Na ndio mimi nimemwambia huyu kijana hapa, Aaron, mimi nampenda sana wakiwa na Ichungwa. Ni watu wangu. Lakini nimewapigia simu juzi, nimeuliza kama wana kazi ya kufanya. Kazi hapa Kericho imekwisha. Wakuje wafanyie wananchi kazi. This should not waste time. Kwa sababu ni mzuri kuambia mtu ukweli. Sasa walikuwa wanajaribu kuja hapo kwa rais. Juzi nimetoka, nimeenda ngamo, nimeenda Italy. Wanajaribu kupitia huko, nikaitwa nikarudi haraka. Kwa sababu pale unajua kazi yangu pale ni rahisi sana. Mimi kazi yangu ni kuchunga Rais William Ruto, na mimi sina kazi nyingine. That is my work. Nikiona mtu yoyote anaweza tatiza serikali yake, hiyo ni kazi yangu kungangana na hiyo mtu. Na huyu kitendawili historia yake ni mbaya. Ama mnataka nimkubalie? Nimkubalie akaribia rais? Sasa mimi naenda Colombia kutafuta soko ya kahawa. alafu nipite Cuba. Lakini nimepanga. Hiyo ikulu nimeweka mitego kila kona, kila pale, kila.
So that caused bit of it. While Mount Kenya publicly has been endorsing Raila Odinga in their rallies, and the inner circle remained tight-lipped since when Raila announced the bid, there was another rumor, not even a rumor, it was confirmed that even Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to vie for that position. And he had to step down for Raila Odinga. When Raila came through, also realized Raila was going for it, they actually stepped down. He actually stepped down for Raila Odinga. And Mount Kenya had, the Rigathi axis had actually vowed they were plotting to use that to cut a very good image of, to cut a deal with Uhuru Kenyatta. And the 2 weeks ago, when there was those burials, when Uhuru was in those two burials in Nyandarua and the one in Nyeri, is it Karumadangwa, the Kiambu member of parliament, senator, even was saying that they should not give Raila that job if Uhuru Kenyatta wants it. And they were trying to push, to project themselves, making a very Damascus moment, and now they're defending Uhuru Kenyatta. Only for Uhuru Kenyatta, the same day they were trying to vouch for some handshake with Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta, when he flew to Nyandarua, bashed Kenya Kwanza at a time when the host of politicians from Mount Kenya would think that Uhuru Kenyatta would play a loyalty card. Now, this scenario outplayed the Mount Kenya team, because what were they expecting? They were expecting that because Uhuru Kenyatta, because probably William Ruto is going to support Raila Odinga, and Uhuru Kenyatta wanted it to the tooth, they would cut a deal with Uhuru Kenyatta and implore on William Ruto to get it. Let me tell you, who would even do that? I remember the way Rigathi Gachagua did something. Rigathi Gachagua marshaled MPs to vote for Kanini Kega on the Eyala, because Kanini Kega used to come from that place. Now Rigathi Gachagua was trying to play that playbook with Uhuru Kenyatta, but saying that I want to marshal the MPs and the Kenya leaders so that we support Uhuru Kenyatta, only for that to emerge as a political tool. And Uhuru Kenyatta has become a president for this country. Hakuna kitu naweza mwambia. Those things are not so much important to him, just to say the truth. And so Uhuru Kenyatta outplayed them in that trap. Now things are very thick on this Kenya Kwanza, on this AUC Raila bid that has both political ramifications and so many hidden cards. Because while Kenya Kwanza, and it has thrown Kenya Kwanza in the spin, and I want to explain that this way. Raila Odinga, there are a host of leaders that have been pushing that, Raila now retires from Kenyan political scene and goes to AU. And even despite the fact that that is what is going on, Raila has gone to rallies, has called rallies, and when he was talking in Homa Bay and in Kisii, he has done those two rallies after the Homa Bay and Kisii, and has maintained a stand that, Addis Ababa is just a stone throw away. Even if I go to AUC or not, there is no problem. I can still come back and vie. And so, things are like, what exactly is in the deal? Because if they have agreed that Raila is not vying, so what is in it? Now, why this has thrown Kenya Kwanza into a spin is based on these four observations. I want to look at that, but also want to humbly request you to subscribe to our channel. This month, I want to say thank you because we managed 2,000 subscribers. Now this is my birthday match, and by the way, this is my birthday month, and we are in the birthday mood. So the best you can do is just to subscribe to this channel. And again, if you need solar, talk to Gidiomi there. I've shared the number there. Talk to Gidiomi. Solar is the best solution, especially kama unajenga up country. Woi, hey, ukiweza tu kuvutana na Kenya Power, you are going to use a lot of money until hata ukiangalia you spend that 150,000 or 200,000, put up your solar and you are sorted. Now, Why this has thrown Kenya Kwanza into a big spin is because Raila is projecting as if he's pulling out of presidential race, and that then will change William Ruto's vote matrix. If Raila pulls out that Raila is not vying, then William Ruto will have to think of, how do I take over Western and Nyanza? And the other day I was talking to some Kikuyu taxi guy, who told me, you know, Kevin, if William Ruto is not, if Raila is not on the ballot, I don't think we're going to vote Kalonzo. And I was like, why? Are you in Azimio or on the other side? Then he was like, no, I'm in Azimio, but if not Baba, I tend to think that if Baba is not on ballot, the voters will reconcile with William Ruto. No, I still believe they need to vote for Kalonzo. So that has pushed out, and the Rigathi knows very well that our significance around William Ruto will go down if Raila is not on ballot. Because, you know, the truth here is, Raila Odinga can be William Ruto's competitor and opponent. But Kalonzo Musyoka is not much of a big competitor, but it's a big opponent. There's a difference. Let me use football. In football, in EPL, we have 21 teams. So there is Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool. Those are competitors. So Arsenal's competitor is Man City and Liverpool. But Arsenal's opponent is Burnley. Number 20. So that's also what I mean. So even in the Kenyan political space, Kalonzo Musyoka is Ruto's opponent. But he does not still reach the competitor aspect. But Raila Odinga is both the opponent and a formidable competitor. Maybe. Number 2. It's in a big spin because Ruto's Kalenjin axis is playing wheel on Raila's job hunt. Playing wheel. The Farouk Kibet, the PS in charge in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, all this, and there seems to the Kalenjin axis giving Raila a very hot spot, a very soft spot on this. And the other third development is the story of a cabinet reshuffle echoes emerging just a day as Raila meets Ruto. So, you know, I know everything not laid on table, but then people just have to sit back and preempt what exactly is on table. And the fact that someone is saying, we can go to a cabinet reshuffle and the cabinet fails to happen cannot be taken lightly. And that's why the likes of Rigathi Gachagua are actually feeling the heat. And number 4, I think Uhuru backing Raila Odinga found them flat-footed. Because what they were expecting is the fact that, if Uhuru fails to support Raila, or if Uhuru falls out with Raila, they go back to Uhuru. Because their problem was Raila Odinga. They know very well they can go back to Uhuru because Uhuru is not going to vie. So Uhuru is not going to be their candidate. And on that, they'll be able to make a political. Most of them know very well that they made a mistake. So they want to undo the mistake by going back to Uhuru Kenyatta. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my take. Let's meet in the next podcast. Asanteni.